Coming to paperback and e-readers in 2021, John Haynes, Taking Care of Business. The man who rules the world breaks on a brand new partner to help him take care of business in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get John Haynes, Taking Care of Business in 2021 at online booksellers everywhere.
An African running for governor in Michigan has made a campaign promise to end Black History Month in Michigan. Now, your Austin Chenge is running for governor in Michigan as a Republican, and his first campaign promise is to end Black History Month. Now, your Austin Chenge, as I see it, looks like he's not going out here to try to sell himself to Black Americans. No, this foreign-born black is trying to sell himself to white supremacists, just like the ones who stormed the Capitol building when Gretchen Whitmer imposed her excessive sanctions and restrictions as related to the pandemic. And this guy, Austin Chenge, looks like he's trying to win the favor and approval of those white supremacists by talking about how he's going to end Black History Month. Now, this guy really is coming from a position of weakness, because to talk about ending Black History Month, a symbolic gesture, does not mean he's doing anything that's going to be significant that makes people take him seriously, because Black History Month is just something very symbolic. It's a month where people go out here and can go out here and celebrate these people who have accomplished things, who are African American, and that really is something people can do every day of the year. So you talking about ending Black History Month means absolutely nothing. Yes, it may get these white supremacists to cock an eyebrow at you, but those white supremacists are not going to take this man seriously, because this man is not talking about anything as related to getting tangible resources in the hands of residents of Michigan. And I would think a politician would be wanting to talk about getting tangible resources to the residents of Michigan, especially people who have lived in places like Flint, where their water has not been clean for years, or places like Detroit, which are crumbling cities which have no economic base or no economic infrastructure. I would think if you were a Republican candidate who was serious about unseating a very unpopular Democratic governor like a Gretchen Whitmer, you would be coming up with economic plans to get this woman out of office that showed how you were going to allocate tangible economic resources and get them in the hands of Michigan residents, and be able to try to help these residents navigate as they try to rebuild in the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic. That's what I think a smart candidate would want to do, and especially one in a state that is always elects left-leaning candidates. I would think you, if on the right, as a Republican, would be thinking about laying out how you were going to improve the quality of life for residents of Michigan. But this guy, his main priority is, I'm going to end Black History Month. And what is ending Black History Month going to do for the average resident of Michigan who is struggling right now with this high unemployment and high crime? What is that going to do for those residents of cities like Detroit? What does that do for them? That's the critical question I have to ask this Austin Chenge, who really looks like a buck-dancing, bojangling buffoon, sitting here making this promise to pander to a small group of white supremacists, but not looking to go out here and lay a foundation for how he's going to get tangible resources in the hands of all of these Michigan residents. And what he's done with this statement is he has alienated a major voting bloc. I mean, it's already hard for a black conservative as it is, and this guy made it even harder for himself, because it's hard to win the black vote as related to being a black Republican, and he makes it 10 times harder by pandering to a bunch of white supremacists with his buck dancing and bojangling, because once you start talking about doing superficial things like ending Black History Month in Michigan, you are coming from a position of weakness, and you are showing how weak a candidate you are, because you're not laying out anything significant as related to an agenda. So when I look at this guy, this Austin Chenge, he's nothing more than a clown, and he's not somebody anybody needs to take seriously, because if he was out here with a serious campaign, he would be, again, talking about how Gretchen Whitmer has damaged the economy, how she had did things like was related to the nursing homes, allegedly, and leading to the deaths of so many residents in these residences, similar to what we have with Governor Cuomo. And he would be talking about a substantive plan as related towards getting Michigan's economy straight, and he would be also talking about improving the quality of Michigan residents' lives. I mean, Black History Month is not something significant because it's, again, symbolic. It is not tangible. And this guy is just not focused on anything tangible, and that's why most black voters aren't going to take him seriously. And I guarantee you, he probably won't even make the primary, because he's basically being a complete minstrel and a complete clown, because he wants to go out here and tap dance for the white supremacists, like many of these guys out here want to do, who want to get brownie points with these white supremacists. And what he wants to do is think, oh, if I say that I'm going to do something to black people, I'll get some favor with white people. But those white racists never respected you from minute one, and they're not interested in voting for a guy like this, because when whites and non-blacks vote, they vote for tangibles. They vote for those who want to work on their agenda, and they pick the candidates. And I guarantee you, they're not going to pick this clown, because he's not about getting any sort of tangibles to them, and he's not about any sort of supporting any sort of agenda of theirs. So when they look at this guy, they see nothing more than a court jester, and they see a court jester who they're going to have a good laugh at as the primary ends, because they know he's going to lose at about maybe 0.5%, maybe 2-3 votes. Maybe his mama will vote for him, but oh wait, his mama is not a citizen. So this guy is sitting here again pandering, and again, people who pander come from a position of weakness. And when you come from a position of weakness, you are presenting yourself as somebody nobody needs to respect. And this guy, Austin Chenge, he's thinking that this is going to move him ahead in politics, but this is going to set him back, because when you go out here and you attack black Americans and think that this is going to get you some points, it's not going to get you some points, because you've already lost a major voting block in black voters who already weren't going to vote for you and now have less incentive to vote for you, now that we know that you're a bootlicking sellout. And you're going to lose the white voters, because when you come to the white voter from a position of weakness like this, they're going to look at you as a self-hating minstrel, and they're going to go and kick you out as well. So this guy has about as much chance as a snowball in hell, and he messed himself up talking that self-hate talk, because I wouldn't vote for some foreign-born black who wants to talk about how they're against black people, because this person is against my interest as a black American. And this person, when they're sitting here talking about symbolism, is showing me that their eye isn't on the prize, because if you really wanted to get the black vote, you would be talking about tangibles. And as I see it, if a candidate isn't talking about black agenda or tangibles, then they're not even worth the time to even talk about even considering for a vote. Because as I see it, unless you're talking about working towards building a black agenda, or working with other blacks for a black agenda, then you're not worth even considering thinking about giving any sort of black vote to. Now, if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to try some of my SJS Direct publications, you may do so by clicking the link to Amazon.com. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Coming to paperback and e-readers this April, Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess. The goddess next door must take on the threat of a deadly digital diva driven to destroy the world in this action-packed all-new Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess in paperback and e-readers this April.